Welcome to Pro Webcast News, where we bring you daily industry updates. Today is Thursday, July 2nd, and you're watching the Afternoon Update with Paul Wilson. Today's news is sponsored by Covenant Reliance Producers. We build success stories. For more information, please visit www.crproducers.com. Now for today's headlines. The job market experienced a rough month in June, with employers cutting more jobs than expected for the month, according to a government report. The U.S. saw a net loss of 467,000 jobs in June, up from a revised figure of 322,000 jobs the previous month. It marked the first increase in the number of job losses in 4 months. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate increased for the 9th consecutive month, rising from 9.4% to 9.5%, a 26-year high. Overall, almost 3.4 million jobs have been lost so far in 2009, after only 3.1 million were lost all of last year. In related news, California's economic troubles continue to cause problems as the state may again be unable to pay its bills. Unless the state's government can pass a balanced budget today, California will begin issuing IOUs to county agencies, small businesses, and taxpayers who are already owed millions of dollars. Officials continue to disagree on the best way to shore up the $24 billion deficit, with Governor Schwarzenegger desiring deep cuts in spending and increased borrowing, while Senate Democrats prefer tax increases and smaller cuts. If a compromise isn't reached, the state controller may have to use IOUs to deal with the almost $3 billion July deficit. According to State Controller John Chang, quote, "Unfortunately, the state's inability to balance its checkbook will now mean shortchanging taxpayers, local governments, and small business," unquote. Finally, the state's deficit could reach $16.7 billion by October, according to a spokeswoman for the controller. In sales and marketing news, the majority of automakers reported disappointing U.S. sales for June. General Motors reported that sales fell 33% year over year after the company filed for bankruptcy at the beginning of the month. Meanwhile, Toyota Motor and Chrysler Group also saw significant sales declines, while Ford Motor was the only major automaker to report a drop that was better than expected. There were some positive signs, with the seasonally adjusted sales rate in June declining slightly from 9.9 million in May to 9.7 million, marking the second best month of the year. According to Tom Libby, president of the Society of Automotive Analysis, quote, "I think we're gradually starting our way up. There's a lot of negatives right now, 2 automakers in bankruptcy in June, that when they move aside, there should be some help ahead on the horizon," unquote. Finally, GM said that sales to consumers in the U.S. climbed 10% from last year, but fleet sales to customers like rental car companies plummeted 49%. I'm Paul Wilson, and thanks for watching Pro Webcast News. For more in-depth news and features, visit www.producersweb.com.